5, 4.
So Olowski leads away from Paul, from Kobovic, Karup and Bruno. A little bit of RGB behind, but it seems to be regulation order all the way down to the 7 car. There's an error at the back, but we're not going to focus on that. Olowski already breaking away from Kobovic. So we've all said if Olowski gets the break, he's probably going to keep it. And first time by the line, he had 0.6 of a second over Kobovic from Karup and Coelho and Ronnefalk. I think we're going to have a fast 5 in this final pull away. No disrespect to the bottom 6, but the front 5 have shown most pace in the qualifiers. Now, qualifying showed Olowski tended to hold a faster pace towards the end of the race, wasn't necessarily the quickest starter. This is showing the opposite with a battle between Karup and Kobovic for the 2 spot. Karup's going to be desperate to get by and apply some pressure to Olowski. Olowski pulling away. He's probably got 4, 5, 6, maybe 0.7 of a second. We'll see as he crosses the line. It's 51.9 versus 53. It's a 1.1 second lead already for Olowski. So if Karup's going to want to defend this title, he's going to have to do something about Kobovic in front of him. So Karup looking left, looking right. Can he make any moves on Kobovic? Meanwhile, Olowski is disappearing off into the distance. So Kobovic tight, Karup right behind him on the gearbox. Runs a little wide there, going to drop a couple of feet back. Oh, looks up the inside, but doesn't make a move on Kobovic. So Olowski is disappearing out front. Last time by, the lead was 1.1 still. Oh, Karup just tags the back. Kobovic gets away with it, backs up Bruno. So the 3, 4, 5 is a Kobovic freight train. And that is just allowing Olowski to disappear out front. The gap now is going to be nearly 2 seconds. 1.7 is the lead for Olowski. We're going to concentrate on this battle for second. You can throw a rag over the front 4, maybe at these 4, plus maybe Ben Smith not far behind. But it is a definite 4-car freight train. Oh, Karup's hit the pipe, he's out of here. So that's going to release Bruno. Can Bruno do anything about Danny Kobovic in front of him? So Karup falling foul and dropping to the back. That is no good for his title defence. So Kobovic's got a little bit of breathing room, but he has a 1.9 second deficit to Michael Olowski out front. And Bruno Coelho now looking all over the back of Daniel Kobovic's gearbox. Can Coelho do anything about this? The grip is slightly lower. Best lap we've seen, 19.7. So 19.7 is the best lap compared to an 18.8 we've seen in qualifying. So it is Kobovic and Coelho battling for second and third. Ronnefalk not far behind, and Ben Smith is waiting to pick up any pieces. Could be a brilliant result here for Ben if anything happens. Meanwhile, Olowski out front is cruising. Last time by for Olowski, 16.9. Yeah, 19.6, sorry. He was the quickest man on track last time by. Bruno comes up a little short on the jump and just gives Kobovic a breathing space. No point looking at the gap. We can see between the 3 of them, there is absolutely nothing between Kobovic, Bruno and Ronnefalk. Ben Smith getting in on the action as well, just hanging on to Ronnefalk's coattails. So as they come through the switchback into the front side table, Bruno looking wide, see if he can sweep round. He can't do anything about it. Kobovic just needs to hold it on the line. Bruno's got to find a way through. Ronnefalk is desperate to get by and have his attempt at cracking the 2-car of Daniel Kobovic. So coming into the switchback once more, we are 1:30 to go, 3:30 down, 1:30 to go. They all double bounce as they go up the tabletop. No harm, no foul. Olowski now 3.1 is his lead, so Olowski has gone. Kobovic having to drive defensively. Bruno sweeping in, looking for any way round, not going to make it stick. Looking up the inside down the straight, doesn't have the power to get down, or doesn't have a grip to put the power down. Kobovic runs wide. Bruno right on his gearbox. Just had to check up slightly there, not to run into the back of him. So Bruno going to go through the S section now, over the double, and Ronnefalk is right on his gearbox. So Ronnefalk is trying everything, doesn't want to hit his teammate, but he's desperate to get through. Maybe he thinks he's got a better chance of getting Kobovic out of the way. So Bruno checking up once again to avoid Kobovic. Ronnefalk has to check up, and Ben Smith right behind them. So can Ben Smith do anything? 45 to go. Oh, Bruno catches a pipe. Let's get that on replay. So Bruno caught the pipe, and then Ronnefalk went into the back of him, and that just released Ben Smith into the free spot. So Ben Smith now gives it a Schumacher 1, 2, 3. Olowski's in a different postcode. He's 4, 5 seconds up the road. Then you've got Kobovic. Then you've got maybe a second and a half. It's 1 second back to Ben Smith. Then here comes Ronnefalk. He looked racy behind Bruno. What can he do behind Ben Smith? We've got 17 seconds to go. 1-7 on the master clock. We're going to stick with the battle on track. I will let you know Olowski's crossing the line, starting his final lap now. Kobovic is coming. Ronifolk hits the back of Ben Smith. They're all through for one more. 3, 2, 1. Time has expired. Everyone's finishing as they cross the line. They are racing to the line. Orlowski's got half a lap to go. Kobovic's getting closed in on by Ben Smith now. Ronifolk trying to get onto the back of Ben Smith. 3 corners to go for Orlowski. Orlowski's crossed the line, takes a win, but we're watching Kobovic, Smith, Ronifolk and Bruno all cross the line in order. So it's going to be a win in A number 1 for Michael Orlowski. Daniel Kobovic going to finish in second, 4 seconds behind. Ben Smith going to come home in third to make a 1-2-3 for Schumacher. David Ronifolk going to finish in 4th. Bruno Coelho 5th. Bartek Zalewski going to finish in 6th. Dominic Valesh going to finish in 7th in his first ever A main. Jessica Palsen going to finish 8th. Una Hatton in 9th. And Marcus Carrot falling all the way to the 10th spot in that one. So that's a wrap of A leg number 1. It wasn't the fantastic race at the front I wanted, but it was fantastic for 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. The whole way through that A main. Absolutely fantastic racing. So off and away they go. Orlowski leading away from the front from Kobovic, Carrot, Coelho and Ronifolk. It's regulation 1 through 10, I believe. So Orlowski going to lead away from the front. Kobovic looking closer this time than he was last time. So we'll see what lap times do as they come round to complete the first complete. We know times dropped since qualifying. Has the track come back to him? So it is Orlowski, Kobovic and Marcus Carrot is looking racy. So coming over the tabletop they go. It's still going to be Orlowski, Kobovic and Carrot. Gap between them is not a lot. 0.4 of a second separating the front 3. Lap times is 19.9, 19.8. The track is still slow. But Orlowski is broken. You can just visibly see it. He's pulled maybe 4-5 car lengths extra, and that just seems to be enough for Kobovic to clam up and look behind at Carrot rather than look forward at Orlowski. Gap last time by 0.6 of a second. Unless Kobovic can do something about it, I think Orlowski's comfortable with that and will drive away. Let's see what Kobovic can do. He's coming through the switchback. He's got Carrot all over him, and Coelho's there as well. Ronifolk not looking quite as racy as leg number 1. So let's concentrate on the battle for second. It's going to be Kobovic, Carrot and Coelho coming down the straightaway. I'll keep an eye on Orlowski, see what he does, but it's all about, can Kobovic do anything about it? Can Carrot or Coelho or Ronifolk find a way through? Front 5 have broken away. Ben Smith's in the middle of no man's land with Una catching him. Then it is Vlašek and Palsen. We've lost Vlašek. It's Bartek and Palsen. So Orlowski is disappearing slowly but surely. Last time by another 10th in his favour. Gap is 0.8 of a second. But it looks a mile on this fast and flowing track. Kobovic has got Carrot for company as they come through the fast chicane. Through the 180, down the straightaway they go. Carrot is looking left and right. There's a shot for you in the crowd. So coming through the switchbacks. Oh, Carrot just touching each one of those bot dots. Perfectly done. Bruno Coelho is out, just pulled up, coming off the tabletop. So that's going to release Ben Smith. So Ben Smith is up to the 4th spot behind Marcus Carrot, because Ronifolk is down at the back of the field. Bruno Coelho out and Valesk is out. So it is a front 3 now of Orlowski, Kobovic and Carrot. Ben Smith running in no man's land in 4th. Una Hatton chasing him down. We'll concentrate on the battle for second. Oh, Carrot, what a move. Is he going to make it stick? Yes, he is. So we've got that marks. We'll show that replay at the end. Marcus Carrot coming up the inside, coming onto the straight because Kobovic ran wide. They went wheel to wheel on the straight. Kobovic looked up the inside into turn 1, could not make it stick. So now Marcus Carrot has a 1.9 second gap to close down in exactly 2 minutes if he wants to defend his European Championship. Michael Orlowski has to keep in front for the remaining 2 minutes to become champion. Marcus Carrot needs to close this down. Can he do anything about it? Last time by, it was identical lap times. 1.9 in Orlowski's favour. I believe will be Michael Orlowski's first 2-wheel drive European Championship. So 18.9 for Carrot and 19.3 from from Marcus Carrot. So Marcus Carrot is coming. Gap is down to 1.5. So can Orlowski do anything about it? We have about 5 laps remaining. 5 laps remaining. This time by 19.5 to a 19.2. 3 tenths in Orlowski's favour. The gap is going to be 1.3 with 4 laps to go. 3 tenths of a second. He is going to catch him at this rate if this carries on. Can Orlowski respond? Can Karup keep up the pressure without mistakes? They're going to come across the line once more. Orlowski goes 19.2, Karup 19.1. That's more like it for Orlowski. Karup is throwing everything at it. We'll keep the camera on Karup, see if he can catch. Orlowski coming round through the over the 180, drives away through the switchbacks. Karup is looking visibly closer this time by. Karup desperately wants to defend that championship. Orlowski desperately wants to win it. 19.3 to an 18.9. Karup is there. This lap and one more to go. We've got this lap and one more. Michael Orlowski driving for championship. Karup driving for his defence. Coming through the switchback, what's it going to be? They're going to go one more time this lap to decide the championship. Will it go to one more leg? Michael Orlowski, Marcus Karup. Marcus is going to throw everything at it. Coming over the double, down the straightaway they go. Karup just giving him a little love tap. Coming over the roller, going to drive away from the rostrum. And through the switchbacks, just a tabletop to go. Then Marcus Karup gives him a tap, waits for him. Coming through the fast chicane, Karup going to throw it. Michael Orlowski going to take the win. Michael Orlowski taking the 2024 championship. Marcus Karup giving us a race. What a fantastic conclusion to Michael Orlowski's first two-wheel drive European Championship. I'm just going to run down and get a word with our new two-wheel drive champion. Good, so Michael Orlowski just come off for Ostrom from A final leg 2. Tell me how you're feeling, buddy.
It's a nice feeling. I've been close to this title many times. Last year I gave it away in the last final to Marcus and lost it by 0.6 on tiebreak, so it's nice to finally get it. And since winning the Worlds last year and having a lot of good results last few years, it's came to this event without any pressure, and yeah, it's nice to get this one.
So those last few laps, you must have seen Marcus closing. How were you feeling?
I was fine. I had a nice gap, so when I made a mistake and Marcus got by, I was pushing so hard to maintain that gap, and then Marcus put in an 89 on these conditions. I could see him throwing the car around, so I was fine. I knew if I just keep it in front of him, I'll be okay. And he did the right thing to wait for me. And so yeah, my car was awesome all week. And even though with this oil before the finals, which could have messed it all up for us, we made some changes to the car, thanks to the team for the suggestions, and that was really quick.
Yeah, well, excellent, congratulations, well done, and we'll see you again full drive. So away we go, and it's Kobovic that will lead Karup away from Coelho, Ronnefalk, Smith, and regulation order through the field. So Kobovic, we've seen him, well, we've seen Orlowski pull away from him, so let's see what he can do in the lead. And we've seen Karup absolutely throw everything at it in the last run, and Coelho looking fast as well. So the front three are breaking away. Front three breaking away ever so slightly from David Ronnefalk. We saw Ronnefalk was very quick in leg 1, and then Ben Smith running in 5th place missed to pick up the pieces with his 2 third places. Ronnefalk's over. So dare I say, there goes Ronnefalk's hopes of a podium. So it's going to be Ben Smith up to the 4th spot, but he is dropping back. So we're watching the front three. The front three, Kobovic, Karup and Coelho. They are running nose to tail, and Bruno's looking the quickest of the 3. Kobovic's just put a little bit of space between him and Marcus. Marcus, your outgoing two-wheel drive European champion from Utrecht last year. And I'm sure he'll be coming back tomorrow for full drive with serious intent. But Coelho and Kobovic. Coelho looks quickest. He's closing them all up, punching them up. Kobovic can't quite break away from Marcus. Marcus runs wide down the straight, carries the speed. Absolutely brilliant. So through the switch box they go. It's regulation order 2, 3 and 4, running 1, 2 and 3. Orlowski does not go. He has already wrapped up the title Ben Smith is still running in 4th, being chased down by Unahan, and Karup just double bounces. Bruno going to look up the inside, and oh, is he going to do it? So bouncing off the boards, and that eventually breaks out with Coelho taking the position. That was a 1, 2, 3, 4 corner move. Everyone bouncing off each other, and what's that meant is Daniel Kobovic is gone. Danny Kobovic now has a 1.5 second lead, and it's Coelho and Karup going to be battling out for the 2 spot in front of Ben Smith running 4th and Una Hatton in the 5. So we're going to pick up on the second, we're going to stay on the second place battle, the closest battle on track, and here comes Ben Smith. He's waiting with 2:30 down, 2:30 to go. We've got Bruno Coelho, Marcus Karup and Ben Smith. Oh, Karup hits a pipe, Ben Smith knocks him off it. No harm, no foul. All it's meant is Bruno's pulled half a second. Will that be enough to release Bruno to look forward and go chasing Daniel Kobovic? It looks like it. So Daniel Kobovic had a 2nd half. We saw Marcus Karup overturn a bigger deficit in leg number 2, but not quite make the move. So last time by, it was 1.3 in the favour of Daniel Kobovic, but Coelho took 0.3 of a second out of him. So can Coelho take any more out of Kobovic? Kobovic looked to have a little bobble. Coelho didn't have one as bad. Coming through the fast chicane, it's going to be Coelho doing a 19.2 to a 19.3 for Kobovic. So it is Coelho cutting that gap down. Coelho double bounces, Karup up the inside. Coming into turn 1, Karup, nicely done. Coelho goes for it and makes an error. We've marked that one for a future replay. So Karup now going to go back up to the 2 spot. Marcus Karup's got to overturn a 2-second deficit once again, and he has 1 minute and 30 to do it this time. Can he do it to Daniel Kobovic? Last time he made it on the last lap but couldn't make a clean pass. Will he catch and pass Kobovic? Will he catch him? This is the battle for 2nd and 3rd on the podium. Last time by, 19.5 to a 19.2. Gap between them, 1.4 seconds. So Danny Kobovic coming down the straight. They've got this lap and 3 more. It's going to be this lap and 3 more. 0.3 of a second a lap would be enough to do it. Can Karup do it? Very quick through the switchbacks then. Daniel Kobovic looking like a good lap though. 19.6 to a 19.5. Marcus just pushed through the fast chicane. You saw him lose a couple of attempts. So down the straight they go. What's going to happen? They've got this lap and 2 more, this and 2 more to go, and it is bunching up behind Marcus, not going to lie, but Marcus looks closer. Is Kobovic climbing up? 19.6 to a 19.1, half a second in the favour of Marcus Karup. You've got this one and 1 more. Kobovic made an error, so Kobovic makes an error. Marcus Karup is through. That's going to give Marcus Karup 2nd on the podium. Kobovic going to be 3rd. Can Ben Smith do anything about it? If Ben can take this 2nd place, Ben will find himself on the podium at a European Championship. Let's keep all 3 in frame if we can. Ben Smith and Daniel Kobovic racing for the podium. Marcus Karup racing to the line to finish 2nd. Who's it going to be? Marcus Karup, you are racing to the line. They come over the front side tabletop. Can Ben Smith do anything about Daniel Kobovic? Karup going to take the win. Kobovic going to finish 2nd. Ben Smith going to go 3 threes in the legs. Whew, what a race. Marcus Karup actually overturning a 2-second deficit in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Daniel Kobovic making a slight error on the straightaway, getting hooked up on the pipe. So I think overall that is going to mean it is a podium consisting of Michael Orlowski is going to be your winner. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And Marcus Karup is going to finish 2nd with a win and a 2nd. Daniel Kobovic going to finish 3rd overall with 2 2s. Ben Smith going to finish 4th overall with 3 threes, unfortunately missing out on the podium. Una Hatton going to finish in 5th with a pair of 4s. Bruno Coelho going to be top X-ray with a pair of 5s in 6th position. David Ronnefolt going to finish 7th with a 4 and a 7. Bartek Zaluski going to finish in 8th with a 5 and a 6. Jessica Palsson going to finish 9th with a 6 and a 7. And Dominic Vlesk, it's his first ever Euros, going to finish in 10th position with a 7 and a 9.